11:59 at Radio Free America, and this is Uncle Sam with music and the truth until dawn. Right now, I got a few words for some of our brothers and sisters in the occupied zone. The chair is against the wall. The chair is against the wall. John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. It's 12 o'clock, Americans, another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, this is your song.
All right, welcome everybody to our daily gun show. We come to you live every weeknight at midnight Eastern, and we talk about guns for about an hour or so. Getting everything situated here. Just got done eating, going out to dinner with some friends, and got back just in time, just to start the show here. All right, so Woods is the first one out there this evening, joining us live. We go live instead of recording pre-recorded shows, which would probably be easier, definitely be more productive. But we value this interactive part of the internet, this ability to interact, right? And we encourage you to do so. So we go live, and we have a text chat here that we interact with on both the channels, I guess, which is saying he never knows which channel to go on. So we simulcast on the Gun Website's YouTube channel. We call it the Big Channel because it's larger and it's been around for a while, but it was recently demonetized, so they can't super chat or anything over there. But in 2016, I think, we started another channel called the Daily Gun Show channel, just for the podcast. And often we simulcast to both, just because, why not? And then we're also simulcasting to Twitter, but I don't think anybody actually looks over there. We just do that so that it renders a video onto Twitter that can be viewed. So while no one's probably watching this live over on Twitter that we know of, there might be people that watch this tomorrow or some other time in the future on Twitter. But if you have an idea of someplace else we should stream this, let us know. So I can stream to 3 different places. Those are the 3 I choose, but I've been thinking about streaming to one of the other platforms out there. They're a little more complicated, only because they're a little more tedious, I should say, not complicated. So it's just a little more convenient to just click some boxes instead of setting up codes each night. But anyway, that's a little behind the scenes there. So thanks to Woods for joining the first one to join us today. Roy is the second one out there. Good evening. Roll Call just got done doing his 200th episode. Congratulations. And glad I was able to catch the end of that one. Says this dog needs a patch. Well, this dog has a lot of patches. But if you're talking about a patch made of the dog, yeah, you're right. I was supposed to be working on that. And came up with one design so far. I don't really like it. So I'm trying to come up with another design. Whenever you have to do something or you feel like you should do something, that's when I get writer's block. Whenever I got no time frame, that's when I come up with ideas all over the place. So if anybody's got an idea for a dog patch that includes both this one and the good one, Mellow, let me know. Mentos is out there. Good evening. Thanks for being the one to bring us up to the $1,000 mark over at the sewing machine project we've got going on over on Indiegogo, trying to raise some funds to get a 15 color embroidery machine from our friends at All & Anchor. They are getting rid of their machine. Their neighbor wants to buy it from them, but they let me get a chance to grab it first. So we're trying to raise some funds on a crowdfunding project throughout the month of February. And we just reached $1,000 last night. So thanks for that. We still need to try to reach $3,000 or $7,000. So it's not quite over, but we are getting there. So if you're interested, take a look. We need only 140 people to be on board to make that project happen. If you're not interested or you're not able, then we ask you to please share the project. That's really what the power of the internet with crowdfunding is, getting it out there. People understand that they can be part of, what that machine's going to create. And, so you never know who out there might be interested in seeing the results of that. And the sharing of the project helps it get it out there to more people. And like I say, that's really the power of how this stuff works. Let's see, we got Woods and Tim. Right on. So that's everybody, I think. But if anybody else is out there, feel free to let us know. All right, so it's Wednesday. Tonight we have a time constraint. Normally I would like to just kind of ramble, go on and get some projects accomplished or work on something or have a conversation during this show. But tonight we have to be aware that there's a show after this one. So in about an hour and a half or about an hour and something minutes from now, the mouse party will start up. So we want to be aware of that and end this one. So what I think I'm going to do tonight is both dogs driving a Power Wheels Chevy van. Well, maybe I'll jug some drawing then. I think I owe you a gizzard drawing too. So I'm going to open up, well, first I guess we'll screen share. So I'm going to bring on one of our guest hosts, Sharon. Screen Sharon, if you come out here. There we go. And we'll put the puppy cam underneath here. Drop that out. Now we got this big orange section of the screen. What we'll do is open up Adobe Illustrator. I'm a big fan of Adobe. Let's see how big of a fan of Adobe I am. Let me go check something out real quick. I'm a big fan of Adobe. I just recently renewed my subscription to Adobe. And I'll tell you what, I cannot get enough of it. I find new pieces of it, new things the tools can make. And I'm constantly stoked, which doesn't always happen with all software. Sometimes the software can be impressive or software can be pretty neat, but it's still pending. All right. Adobe, though, is pretty awesome. So we're going to head over to the Illustrator one, and that's where I was doing some of those drawings the other day. We'll just start a new one. Let's see. Roy is asking us, Illustrator looks fun. What's the current learning curve like? That's a good question, I suppose. I don't know if I can answer that for everybody. I can say that there's probably only one or two pieces of software that's more complicated than this. So it is as complicated as it can get. But the good news is, let's take a quick look at that since he asked. The good news is it's really not that complicated. So if I move it over, so by just dragging it over and moving it a little bit smaller, I'm going to also open up, I think, the most basic thing there is, and that's just edit or photo editor or something in Windows. And I use these things almost as often as I use both of them daily. So they're both super powerful for what they are. But if you look in here and I drop down the little window here to show some of the controls it has, the basic one ever has a paste, right? So I can copy something somewhere and paste it here. I don't know what the heck I had in here last. I don't have anything in here. Let's do that. Let's just draw this little squiggly line here. Whatever this is, I can copy that, right? And delete it. So the most basic thing you can do is paste something in there, and then I can move it around, right? And in Adobe, do the same thing. Paste and move it around, right? So it's doing the same thing. Over here, I can highlight it and then stretch it, right? In Adobe, I can stretch it. Over here, I can do this to it. I can wiggle it. Over here, there's no wiggling, which is lame. I can go to 90 degrees, which is weird. For whatever reason, I can't go anywhere. So, Adobe's going to give you some of that incremental ability or better stuff, but then you get into what you can do with it. I can draw something over here. I can draw, oops, it's the right button. Over here, I can draw something. Eventually, I'll be able to draw some. Oh, I'm drawing white. How about I draw color? Over here, I can draw something. like I said, there's more controls. So there I can draw something. Over here, I can fill something with a color. I'm going to fill it with whatever. I could do the same thing over here. I'm not going to, but I don't even know where that tool is. I don't use it very often. But I could do that over there. You can write letters. So if I write a letter over here, whatever, I can highlight the letters that I just wrote, and I can give them a different font, and I can give them a different color, and I can fiddle with them to certain extents, make them bold, italic, and things like that, and I can change the size of them. So there's pretty decent controls just in plain old Paint, which is pretty basic. And then I come over here and I do the same thing. I just find wherever the text thing is and type in some stuff. It's just because it's a stronger program, it automatically writes a bunch of gibberish in there for me to use as an example. And then whenever I find the tools over here, there's a lot more tools, and I can adjust things like the size of the lettering and all the same things, except way more things I can edit over here. I guess I probably could have just done something like this to make it bigger. So there's text on both of them. Let's see what other kind of stuff is there. There's shapes and squares, and I can make an outline of something over here. I can make an outline of something. It's just that in Adobe, you can do things to ultimate control and then do things just very quickly that I can't just do over here. I have like 4 options over here of how wide the box can be, and over here I can make that the depth or the width of that edge, you know, any depth I want, and then I can fiddle with the corners and other things. So there's just way more stuff you can do in this software. So once you open up something like a Paint and learn the basics, you just start to figure out where those same tools are in Adobe, and then, you know, maybe you figure out what more they can do. And most of the time you figure out what more they can do by just playing around like what I do, or watching a tutorial or some sort of a thing where they'll have you a task where they'll have you go through and use essentially all the tools you might need or whatever. So I'd say with internet and with the amount of people that are fans of Adobe, I'd say the learning curve is probably not that big anymore. So Woods is saying both dogs driving a Chevy van. So that's not a van very much. That's weird. Why is it doing all this? Okay, it's because I got this thing going like this. So we'll start that over again. So the I draw with my mouse, and usually trace over something. So first we got to find some pictures here. Now the good news is I've got shit, they're all on my phone. I do have a bunch of dog pictures, but they're all on my phone, and I have to pull them over here, I think. One of my projects that I try to work on is to consolidate some of my shared folders, and haven't done that with the dog pictures yet. But where am I going to find that gizzard picture? Was that in Instagram, or was that in an email? When you say a Power Wheels Chevy van, what's a Power Wheels? You mean like a toy, or like a big wheel? I'm thinking big wheel for some reason. Yeah, I don't remember either. I'm looking at the Instagram right now, though. Eventually, as soon as I find the Instagram. Dang, that's the last time I texted you on the Instagram. Isn't that long ago? Oh no, there it is. Probably should have drank some caffeine at dinner. Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about now. Dang, must have been an email. All right. Well, if anybody's got any, I'm checking for an email right now. It's just taking it. Evidently, this must be kind of boring. So if anybody's got any questions or any kind of topics or any kind of points, if anybody wants a link, let me know. Jump in. All right. Well, maybe. No, maybe it wasn't an email. Do you remember where the picture came from? Let's go grab the picture from its source. I don't think you took it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think you had a camera and took the picture. Let's see. So I was going to work on Minuteman also. So while we're waiting for feedback on that, I will jump over to Minuteman and see where it's at. I was thinking like constitutional carry is probably outdated. What am I trying to do? I'm trying to go up here and do this, and then do that, and then do this, and then go back, and now I can refresh. And now I'm logged in. All right, so what are we missing? We're missing a couple of states on here, right? We've only got, no, I did get Georgia in there. I didn't get a picture of Georgia, though. So, edit. This only goes up to 24 with Indiana. So, I guess edit and replace. All right, and constitutional carry 1 and 2. So I still need to do another constitutional carry. That's the wrong map. Wonder if it's that map or that map. That doesn't look like it opened. Email and Instagram. I'm gonna look again on Instagram. Maybe it deletes the thing after some time. Hopefully we'll have state 26 soon. Which one are you betting on? Oh, okay, thanks. Which one are you betting on being number 26? I guess we can make that a poll. We'll make that a poll over on the Daily Gun Show page. Oh wait, no, yeah, I guess I gotta go over here and do this. So I gotta switch accounts. Come in over on this account, and now we can gotta switch accounts. All right. Next, can see our constitutional. Carey State. Millipede, Nebraska. Florida. South Carolina. Is there another one in the running? Louisiana. All right, boom. Now you get to vote. But I have a few I think will be last. Ouch. Yeah, that's probably true. Unless it just goes the other way real quick. Normalize guns, and then they'll all be running as fast as they can towards it. Man, is it cold? I'm cold to the bones. They were cold shaming earlier in one of the other chats, and I was cold and listening to them being mean to cold people that can't deal with the cold. So we got the next constitutional carry state. Is it going to be Nebraska, Florida, South Carolina, or Louisiana? Nebraska, Florida, South Carolina, or Louisiana? Tim's saying Nebraska's been talking about it a lot again, and Woods is saying that he has voted in Nebraska. Or no, he voted for Nebraska, I bet. All right, I'm going to stand up. I'm going to put my blanket around that heater for a minute, and we'll do a quick commercial for the robot. We've thanked Foss for this. Oh, wait a minute. I got to end the show. Shit, Foss is live right now. Why didn't anybody tell me? Oh, wait. An hour? Oh, freaked me out. I was like, oh, shit. I almost pushed the button to end the show. So, yeah. Thanks to Foss for making this video, but I'm going to use this while I go get warm over here. I'll be back. Probably make some water or something. Puppy's all tired. Puppy got his shots today, so now he quit costing me money finally until we cut his nuts off. So he got his final shots. He's a big boy now. So I guess he's tired from getting his shots. He's just laying here. He's also running around like spaz all day. Went out to eat and seen a bunch of people. Loved up on him, getting a bunch of free lovin's off of people. What do puppies do? Okay, thanks. Yeah, I freaked out there. I could take a nap for an hour. I could shut it down and take a nap for an hour. I'm just saying. All right, so we've got a poll going over here. Next state for constitutional carry. What's it going to be? So far, Florida is winning with Nebraska. Nebraska coming in second. So that tells us who ain't out there tonight. If Woods is the one that voted for Nebraska, or no, if Woods voted for Nebraska, but Tim voted Florida. All right. So then you also sent me, use the Instagram app. No wonder I can't see it. I have to use an app to see it. I can't see it on the stupid computer. So let me grab it off the emails. All right, well, since we're waiting for my emails to show up, we can go over to the Instagrams over here and take a look at what happened. Thanks for resending the picture here. Save image as, and we saved it. Oh, if anybody wanted a link, I could have sent you a link right there. We're heading over to the Instagrams to say that today is the anniversary of the birth of Dick Casoul. Richard Casoul, back in 1931. So if you've heard of the 454 Casoul, that's him. So he was a Wildcat developer and a gunsmith. He created that 454 Casoul back in 1957. He created a bunch of guns to wrap around that cartridge to shoot it. He had a 290 round detachable pan magazine on his Casoul Model 290. There was only 87 of them manufactured. That's in this video, or this image, it's the one on the top here. It's like an AR, or American 180, which is pretty much the same thing. Then he had a mini revolver that he made in 1971. My favorites. He was the one that invented the modern mini revolvers. So it was Dick Casoul who invented it with a place called Rocky Mountain Arms. And then Rocky Mountain Arms was sold, and a guy called Jerry Baker from Freedom Arms came along and helped redevelop that little mini revolver from the Rocky Mountain Arms version, and that became North American Arms Inc. or Corp, I forget. And then that's when they let go of it. Those two guys let go of it to Frank Talley from that aerospace company, and he created North American Arms to start selling that mini revolver. Freedom Arms started to sell one that Jerry had come up with, and then that was Dick Casoul out of the picture at that point. Then North American Arms was later purchased and became North American Arms Inc., I think, Inc. And then it moved back to where it is now in Utah. So that's got an interesting story, and there's more to it than that, but we already confused everybody, but that's just the beginnings, or he was the very beginning of those mini revolver stories. Now, I didn't put in here because I don't know when it happened, but he also developed that large caliber revolver. I'm not sure when, but essentially oversized revolvers that could handle the 454 Casoul cartridge they invented. He lived until 2018, and Dick Casoul. we have the rally this weekend. Tony will be coming out for it, I believe. So we'll try to go live from that if we can. All right. So with that, we'll encourage you to vote on the poll again. And we'll go back over to the Illustrator. And we're going to open up a new file. Now we'll place on that new file this picture to Gizzard. I like to put one there and then copy and paste another one right next to it. And then take that second one and fade it down so you can barely see it. Then get rid of these properties, go over here, lock that layer, add a few more layers, get to this thing, and I think it's like this. And then, yep. Then find a place to zoom into. You go too close, it gets kind of weird, and if you get too far away, you don't get any details, so you got to just find that spot. Every picture has a different amount of detail. You kind of get used to how you want to do it. Now I'm going to throttle my mouse down so that I'm barely moving the mouse. Well, as I'm moving the mouse on my mouse pad, the mouse is barely moving on the screen. And we'll see how that comes out. It's a little weird, so we won't use that. This time I'll try to go just from the glasses. And here's a trick if you want to get them to be really accurate. You can just copy, paste, and object, transform, reflect. Say OK, and then drag that bad daddy over there and just wiggle it into position like that. And then they're pretty identical. All right, go back to just drawing again. Oh, that's not drawing. So get back to just drawing again. Now I have this thing cranked down so low that it's actually probably working against me a little bit. So I should probably go in a little bit. And instead of redrawing all that, I'm going to cheat and I'm going to zoom in here and just tweak this stuff a little bit. Not like that. Tweak this stuff a little bit. Kind of bring these things where I want them. Create these curves a little bit more correctly. And you've got a couple of different ways you can do this. I'm using the what do you call these things? I think they're yeah, I don't know what they're called. Whatever these little dots are called. I'm using them, anchor points, maybe that's what they're called. And then effectively putting force and tension on them with these the transform handles, these little levers that you can kind of wiggle the things around to get used to that. All right, so that's way too close, and it takes forever to do it this way. So we're going to zoom back out. Otherwise, it'll be there all day. Try doing everything super close, and maybe one hair closer than we were before. So now trying to do somebody that you already know is really tough. Somebody that you know and you see them all the time, even tougher. So we're just going to try something here and then tweak it or change it if needed. All right, so there's that, and then connect these two together, maybe. All right, so then we're going to come out with that thing, and over with that thing. Got that under his head there, and something like that there. All right, so we got that. This one's going to be tougher because we got to come down the front like this. This side's no big deal. But then I'm going to try to bring it up like this. I don't know if that's the way to do it or not. I think that looks weird, but I'm not going to redraw it all, so we'll just make do. And then that isn't that great either. We'll undo that. Try that again. Close enough. Put this band up here. And sometimes it's easier to use the line tool for stuff like that, and sometimes it's easier to use this marker or paintbrush or whatever it is. So let's see, now we've got a beard going on. Nope, don't like that at all. His beard does not look like that. So doesn't look like that either. I don't know what's going on there. So I guess I need to go to the picture again. So I gotta crank up the mouse to be able to do this. All right, so we're gonna go back to the picture over here, lock that layer, unlock that layer, highlight that, bring this thing up a little bit so you can see that beard. Lock it, unlock it, click. Okay, now you gotta click someplace and that gets the tool selected. We're good to go. So try this again. And if I was in practice, this would have been much easier to accomplish. I am just not in practice. So now it looks like his beard has some globby thing over there. And there's two ways to accomplish this. One is to cut the beard first. I don't like it, so we're not doing that. And the other is to cut the beard, but then incorporate the mustache. Right. And then cut something like this inside of there. I don't know, it's kind of like gizzard. And then give them shoulders. Another trick is when it's starting to look goofy, especially when you know somebody, is to just keep moving around. Don't look at anything too long. And details are tough. You don't want to put too many in ever, and you don't want to have too few, but a couple of details are usually all you need to get it all good. Let's see if we just bring that whole thing down a little bit. Like that. Yeah, this looks weird, so let's start tweaking that a little bit. Let's get rid of all of this. I don't know what happened over here. You probably can't hear it, but this little dog is sleeping. He's tired. Some people would say he's plumb tired. He's a little gooped up on the vaccines. He had 4 different vaccines in him today, they said. So I took him to this boarding place, and the boarding place wanted him to have this extra Bordetella, and then he has it, but then he still got sick, so thanks a lot. So today he's sleeping off 4 different secondary boosters, if I understood him correctly. So somehow giving him 4 versions of the sickness is going to help him from getting the sickness. Boy, this is not working. This does not look like gizzard. So this part here was pretty bad, so I'm just going to highlight that last one and delete it, and then same over here. Delete that. I might even delete that. Oh, that fell. So you can always undo. That's always handy. Highlight just that one and delete it. Now we're playing with gas. All right, and now we just drag this over, let's say, and this. Zoom in. There we go. This is definitely weird. So get rid of that. Come on. Get rid of that. And then move this thing over a little bit. Get rid of these things. And this will make this. So like this. All right, well, that's not really good. And we can pull this. All right, now we got to do something up here because he has a nose, I'm pretty sure. The creepy part is this part, because you got to go up and Gizzard his nose all the time. All right, so now noses are pretty tough, but then they're also pretty easy. So try doing nothing and see what happens. And trust me, just do nothing and see what happens. All right, so it doesn't look that good. Gizzard has eyebrows, I guess. He doesn't shave those off. So we'll do, trick is just only do the parts of the eyebrows like that. Put them where their eyebrows are, but only do it like that. And then maybe that much detail. Not quite. That much detail. There, that's better. So now we'll take that, copy and paste. Okay, and we'll drop that there. And just paste again, I guess. Paste again. And a couple more times. All right, and tweak these down a little bit. There we go. And grab all of them. Somehow, hold down the shift key. Start clicking stuff. Get them all. Get them all. There we go. Copy. Paste them all. Put them all over here. And just put them where they're supposed to be. Let's see. Just do copy paste. There. Then you get just enough detail to be interesting, but hopefully not so much that it's weird or nothing. And here's the trick. Does that look like Gizzard? Kind of looks like Gizzard. But it looks like he's got like Orson Welles' chins going on. So let's try giving him some kind of a lip that's smiling instead of being weird. So undo that and give him a lip and then get rid of this. And get rid of this because that's super creepy. And it'll come back out and it's kind of looking like Gizzard. Next thing to do is give them skin. Don't even start worrying about it. Just start giving them skin and stuff. Because Gizzard has skin. Right, we're going to go like this, and like this, and like this, like this, and this, and this, and this. There. All right, and did it wrong because I did the outline, so we got to undo the outline and instead do the inside. I just do everything with this color first. Sometimes I do blue, but this is a better color for people. But for robots and stuff, sometimes blue is better for like a car or for like a gun or something. Blue is easy to see against these black lines, but for people it looks weird. So I just do everything in this color until you can't figure out what's going on. And then you just play paint by numbers. You see what I'm saying? So we just start doing that. Go on to the next piece. Now I'm going to go ahead and put his whole skin of his face underneath of his glasses and underneath of his beard. All right, go up there and across and across and across, over and over. All right, and then his glass. Well, let's see. So now his eyeballs. Right, just like that, super easy. And then his glasses. Yeah, that's right. And then over like this. All right, no big deal. Got him, got him, got him, got him. And like I say, you can't really tell what we're doing because we're just laying the same color on top of everything, but you get used to it. And then the glass is part of his glasses. Now here's the tricky part. Do you want to just go to the inside like this and give it some thickness? You can do that. You're allowed to do that. Across like that. You see what I'm doing? I'm just going to the inside, not quite all the way around. It might look bad. It might not look right. We'll find out. You can always tweak it. I can tell I already have to tweak this, so we'll just tweak this real quick. Come on. Just tweak this real quick. Not too bad. All right. And then his beard, I guess. Oops, put that in the wrong spot. Undo and start again. So we're just going along and putting these things down, and I'm about 80% accurate, 90% accurate, because I know I'm going to have to tweak with it anyway. So I know I'm going to have to tweak with it, so I don't mind missing, but at the same time, I don't want to be tweaking with it all night long, so I try to be fairly accurate, but I don't worry about every little thing. Next is the mouth parts around his beard. So cutting the beard hole out of his mouth, I guess you could say. Or ripping his mouth out of his beard, maybe. So this part's way tougher, and there's really no good way to do it. So I'm just going to do this. I'm going to try doing this, and it ain't going to look right. And then we're going to do this, and that, I don't know. It ain't going to look right. So we're just going to do something. And then there's this. I've been doing this lately, but there's other ways to do it. I don't know if Gizzard will like having a weird shape like that or not. And then I just usually put this under everything. All right. Oh, and then we can do his, what do you call this thing? Headband and whatnot. So we'll get that headband going. I don't think I did this already. So hats are weird. You got to do shading and stuff on a hat. It's not super hard, but you just got to remember to do it. So then we got this belt thing going. There we go. And guess what? I can take that, and I'm going to change the color already because I'm not going to do this all over. So first, I guess we'll just, oh, you know what we'll do? Zoom out, we'll go over, we'll take this, and we'll just zap it right off of his actual hat. There. So now we got a color for it. And zap it small. Or zap it, and then go over here, go in, make it super small, put it right there. Copy, paste, paste, etc., etc. All right, and how do I do this? Come over here and do the same thing. All right, now we'll zoom back out. All right, so now it's just a bunch of playing paint by numbers. So you can start with this hat and then color picker. Click, 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 click. Oh shit, that's probably pretty good. And then this picture, go over here and click. That's all right. I'm gonna have to tweak that a little bit. Headband, come over here. Click, click, click. So you gotta play, you can play around by clicking wherever you feel like, but you're clicking off of the main picture, so you're not hurting nothing. I think it was like 3 ago. So undo, undo. I'm gonna use that one. All right, now we go to his head, his face, and zap, zap. Uh-oh, that's a pretty good color. Zap, that's a better color maybe. Maybe, I don't know. So now the trick is, oh shit, what did I do? Undo? No. Redo. Edit. Redo. All right, so next is the glasses. All right, we got them. Next is this part, and those will just be white. And then if we zap these open, this this here and this here are going to be his eyeballs. So we'll color pick his eyeballs off of his eyeballs. And then what I like to do is take these white colors and make their opacity something like 10% or something. But first what I got to do is copy them and go to this, go to, not this, but what happened to my window, Pathfinder, take this Pathfinder and jam it back over here. I don't know how it fell out. And then pop those things out, go back and get a color for his things, and then paste. So try this again. Highlight, highlight, copy, copy, copy. Highlight, or click that. Cookie cutter them. Grab that. Grab a color from his glasses somewhere, a little bit lighter. There we go. Then paste. Then put those over his eyeballs and make these things like 10%. So before I was doing this, but what was happening was they were just going 10% in front of a solid frame. So I had to cookie cutter the lenses out of the frame and then paste the lenses back in there. All right, so this is his clothes, and we're going to go ahead and give him, probably, should we give him an orange shirt? Some kind of orange color shirt. But then, since we're in this layer thing, why don't we close that and take this layer and drop it underneath of everything else. So now it's behind everything. So now we still got this and this, and we'll Pathfinder this out of here with a cookie cutter. And there we go. Is that it? That's a gizzard. Is that a gizzard or is that a failure? Click out of there, or click that. Does that look like a gizzard? It's Woods's, so we'll let Woods figure it out. Does that look like a gizzard? I feel like there's something goofy going on with his hat. So let's mess with this hat a little bit while we're waiting for Woods to say whatever he's going to say over there. So first off, we're going to give this hat more dimensionality or whatever. So go up here and get rid of some of this. And then at the same time, something like this maybe. I don't know if this is going to work, but we're going to try it and see what happens. All right, and then do that and that as, so I can go up here and pick a color from the little top thing there, but I can also come down here and go to its actual color and then just pull from its actual color in a direction, and I'm going to pull them down a little bit, and that'll give us just a little bit of color there. And then I got to see what's going on. His head looks goofy as hell up there. I don't think that's the way it was in the picture. So he's got some kind of a thing coming around that I missed. So the best way to do that is to lock the color, get rid of the color, go back to this layer. And you see I missed some sort of a thing here that's important. So we're going to come in here, maybe. Well, come in like this. And that's like the hat or something. That'll do it. And then, well, since I'm in here, I need to fiddle with some stuff. So this is horrible. And bring that. Come on. No, that's fine. Let's see. Get this here down a little bit. This thing here can come over. Now, sometimes it's worth, before I go in and do this kind of stuff, it's worth going in and saving it as like that style or that kind of technique, and then go in here and dink with it and fiddle with it and save this as something else, so that way there's like two versions. But I guess I'm not doing that. I'm just cleaning up, trying to clean up these intersections where I was just sloppy about it. And that is going to need, oh, come on. That is going to need a, come on. Hit that and give me that. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. All right, I'm going to fiddle with this too much, so I'm going to quit fiddling with it and then bring that over, and then I think that's it. Nope. Over here, we're going to lock that in. Nope. What did I do? Lock this end in. And then we'll drag this over a little bit and bring this up a little bit. I don't know, like that. This is also missing something. We're going to be doing something up here. Maybe something that. Maybe a little. Oh, you know what it is? That's not what it is. Nope, that's not it. It's going to be this. Right? Something like that. Something like that, I think. So then we'll drop that and put the color back in. And now we got to fiddle with the color a little bit. Same way. Like I say, you know you're going to fiddle with the color, so you don't make it too good. And then you're going to mess with it, so there's no point in making it perfect. But hopefully you're not playing with the colors all the way long. So this is still a little messed up here. I guess that worked. I'll just bring this over a little bit more. Yeah, right. And then we got to bring this down. We got to bring his skin down. He's always pushing his. Gizzard is known for pushing his skin up on top of his hat like that. So you just got to make that. Just use Photoshop. It's no big deal. So then we'll bring this down so his skin isn't weird. And then we'll make this little dude come up to here. This can go over here, and then that means that this guy can go way over here. Look at that. I think that might work just like that. Get this, put this over here. Oops, shit. Undo. whenever you start fiddling with it and it's wrong, just make it really wrong and undo it. So that way you don't ever have to try to find where you made a tiny mistake. Just make big mistakes and get rid of the big mistake. All right, see his skin's being all weird again, so just pull his skin down. If the gizzard is being weird with his skin, just pull his skin back where it's supposed to be. You just got to do it sometimes, especially on the final runs through like this. Come on, what's going on with the puppy over here? All right, in this part I'm never going to like his mouths. Here's the problem with humans. Their mouths and their eyes and their noses and their hands and stuff, they're hard to draw. And I blame them. So you just blame them and move on with your life, because otherwise you have to learn how to draw their eyes and mouths and stuff, and it's a pain in the ass. So just don't. All right, and then I think that's it. The glasses ain't perfect. Oh wait, his ears all sloppy again. You see his eyes smushing his skin everywhere. All right, and then we'll bring this up like this, and oh, you know what I probably did is screw up over there, but I didn't notice it. So that's what happens when you don't notice it. You have to redo a bunch of work. All right. It ain't ideal. I feel like it looks a little bit too much like other people, but it's because I know I'm too much. So I like it. Hard to show streaks of gray in my beard. Oh, well, the eyes and glasses and hat are good. Right on. Right on. It's tough. So that's my skill. My process though is I just trace, and then see. I think the eyes are goofy. Did I got the eyes right? No, I think I do got them right. And then it's just the what is it? Our brain puts it together. You know what I mean? I think you just have to get those elements. And I'm not fancy or nothing. I don't know how to get the elements from thin air, so I just use the image to trace them. All right, well, there we go. So then now it exists. So I'll lock that layer, and then we'll save it. That's always a good idea. Oh, what's going on here? I don't know what that's all about. I'll just save it to my, oh, what's going on? Oh, I just re-upped my service, so there must be some weird thing because I just redid my service. I'll put it in the 2023 folder, and we'll call this the Gizzard for Woods. Woods had requested that one. Thanks for that. There it is. And now we have it saved as an AI file. So all of these steps are saved, and the, what do you call it? Like the elements are saved. Well, eventually, once they're done being saved here. And then we go in and export it. So this is a file that was useless unless you have Adobe. So we need to put it in a format that's useful for other things. So if we export it, like all of these exports over here, we'll call it Gizzard 2023. And we're going to export it as a PNG. And I'll get the option here to do it with a transparent background, which I will. And then we can also just export it right away as, let's call it Gizzard. And you can shortcut to just click on something, and that'll change the name down here to whatever you just clicked on. So we'll call it Gizzard 2, and then export. And this time we'll choose white background. And then we'll just put this in an email to Gizzard so that he's got the clear background, the normal background, and then I'll send him the AI file, because I suspect you've got software that can open up the AI file, and if you need to tweak something or do something or change the color of the shirt or whatever, it's as simple as going into the layer that the shirt is on, and giving him a different color. Like, let's say he wants to wear a Tony Simon shirt, right? Just like that. Now it's simple enough then to just export it as, and then call it Gizzard Blue, right? Gizzard 23 Blue or something. And then transparent background. There we go. You can say the same thing with the color of the hat if you needed to. All right, so there we go. So I'll just save that one. Well, actually, I'll undo that and then save it. And we're right about at an hour, which means better for timing over on the Foss show. So we're going to send people over there. Yeah, so thanks everybody for joining us. We ended up hopefully giving you not just some food for thought on what to eat for Second Amendment, but a thorough understanding of what to eat for Second Amendment. A lot of other chats will suggest they're going to talk about what foods to eat for Second Amendment and then go completely off topic on you. Just talk about completely different things and not even get to the real meat of the matter there. So what we like to do is offer that Second Amendment nourishment and get right to to feed that hunger that you've got for Second Amendment and what to eat for 2A. All right, so let's take a look at the poll. Are you kidding me? There's only 3 votes on the poll. I'm disgusted by the response to the poll tonight. There's only 3 votes on it, and
Right, so let's take a look at the poll. Are you kidding me?
It looks like Florida is going to be the next constitutional carry state. I don't call it permitless carry because 1, I'm not crazy, and 2, I refuse to call it that. So the Florida, according to our poll, according to our numbers, will be the next constitutional carry state, followed by Nebraska. Unfortunately, South Carolina and Louisiana, you're not in the running. You didn't even get a vote tonight. So I don't think you're going to get constitutional carry. I'm sorry about that. Maybe you should have somebody hang out in the chat, you know what I'm saying? Maybe get more support. Maybe you'd get constitutional carry. You know, all we can do is make the poll. We can't decide that. Well, we could decide the poll, but we choose not to. We make the poll and then we put it out there to see what's really going to happen. And this is what really happened tonight. All right. Well, with that, we're going to head back over to, how much time do I really have here? Let's find out. I'm going to head over to, oh, I missed Chris's show. What was Chris's show like today? Why am I not seeing the mouse party? There it is. All right, I barely got 10 minutes. Let's quickly go set up tomorrow's show as fast as I can over here. So, oh, I'm looking at the wrong channel over here. Well, I ended the thing, so I'm going to jump back over to my channel. And when you jump back over to your own channel and you look at your history, you start to see the history of stuff. So Rant and Raves number 200 was on. We'll probably mention roll call, getting the 200 mark. We had, I was over checking out Sisters in Arms earlier today. Cape Gunworks had on the dude from GOAL, the Massachusetts state level organization. Looked up a bunch of music videos for Barbecue's chat earlier. They were all shitty, so don't go look at any of these. And I am clicking them all out of here so that I don't have this stupid weird crap showing up in my feed. So what a waste of time. All of these songs were lame. Except this one's all right, but it's not good. It's just all right. Let's see. Meet the Pressers had Ballistics Gel on. I chatted with them. I think I made a video with them, so stay tuned for a video there. Let's see. I guess we'll probably talk about Clover and I's video. We got the sewing machine. We'll be talking about that. The bullet. Riding Shotgun Charlie had Hank Yakic. I don't know how to say his last name. Boy, we looked for a house. How much a house would cost here in Phoenix for 4 days? It was like $1,000. It's crazy. Let's see, what else do we got going on? We had the Ask Gun questions. It was just me and Clover, though. Yankees Puppies and Kittens drive ended this week. John Lott's been posting a bunch of these kind of short explanations of what's been going on with moving the Overton window in the national level media. Well, firearms in TV shows, I guess. So he posts really cool little clips to show just how manipulative they are, little stupid things that they try to suggest in these TV shows. We had Come and Talk It was talking to Fark. Is that what I call and the Target radio was on remote. There was an overnight this week. We had a bracket buster. This HR Funk, I don't know if you've seen that guy before. He's a retired police chief. He made an interesting video to law enforcement about Second Amendment and guns. We got 2A Cops, super interesting. A bunch of people came onto their channel to harass them and turned them into a viral channel because each of those harassment posts led them to be more and more viral. All right, hard to remember how many of these were last week's weekly update and how many of them for this week. I think that's everything for this week. So here's a little sneak preview of the stuff we'll be talking about tomorrow in the weekly wrap up. But until then, I'm going to recommend you head over to the Wednesday Night Mouse Party. I was able to do all that, and there's still 6 minutes left. We'll put a link here, and then what I'll also do is open up the main channel's YouTube. I will open up the edit of the video. And while we're up in here, editing it up in here, what we're going to do is first set it to Daily Gun Show so that it shows up on the main page. All right, and then we're also going to go to customize, save, and then we're going to go to customization, and we're going to say redirect to the upcoming mouse party. We'll save that, and we'll wrap it up. Thanks everybody for joining us. Remember, we've got the robot project happening over there. Thanks to Foss for making this cool video for us. So thanks to everybody who's participated in that, and thanks to everybody who purchases stuff over at our Gear website store. We'll be doing some interesting Free Patch Fridays this year. We got some new patch panels. We got some new ideas for Free Patch Fridays. It's going to be epic. Get your checkbooks ready. Oops, that's the wrong one.